I recently completed my MBA program with Rome Business School Nigeria, and I want to share my experience and some of the takeaway from the programs with you guys. So that's what this episode is about. Let's check it out. In October 2021, I enrolled for my MBA program at the Rome Business School Nigeria because I wanted to have something to validate the role that I was holding at the time. I wanted to see if I could acquire new skills to help make the business I was managing at the time better. And that was the main reason I enrolled for the MBA program at the Rome Business School. Now, let's begin with some of my takeaways from the MBA program. My first takeaway was the flexibility. Lectures can be attended in person or virtually via Zoom. I started off attending physically, then towards the end of the program, I joined virtually. I'll say that the experience is better in person, but joining virtually is not bad either. One thing was that students were made to pay just a little bit more if you opted for the in-person session as opposed to joining virtually. So if your preference is to join virtually, then you're going to be paying just a little less compared to the students that will be joining in person. I personally prefer the in-person because I feel that the experience was a little better in person. But towards the end of the program, I couldn't make it in person, so I had to join virtually. The second takeaway was the level of interaction with classmates and lecturers. I would say this was an awesome experience. I like that many of the lecturers were really hands-on. They were on-the-job people. So that made the class more interesting because they were able to marry the topics to the real world, and they tried their best to make it scenario based. So I really like that we're able to discuss application of most of the topics taught across different sectors. The third takeaway for me was the concept of the capstone project. I like the idea of the capstone project where we were grouped, and initially every member of the group had to come up with a pitch, and each pitch was examined by the group. The group then unanimously take on the best pitch as a project to work on. So the project that we settled for was gas to home pay-as-you-use project, and the collaboration with the other team members was really good. The next takeaway was the internship program, where every student will have to look for a company of their choice to intern. Although this was an optional course, but we were encouraged to pursue the internship. For me personally, I was really looking forward to this one, but unfortunately, I couldn't take part in it because I wanted to have my internship with Microsoft Nigeria. So the school reached out to the guys at Microsoft Nigeria, but for some reason, it didn't work out. So my advice for you here, if you're planning to take on an MBA course, is for you to plan for this well in advance and plan to reach out to between 2 to 3 organizations, and make sure that they are organizations that can boost your CVs and where you can also learn. My final takeaway was networking. The networking experience was really great because you're going to meet people from different backgrounds, from different fields. For example, in my class, I had people from banking sector, people from oil and gas, people from telecoms, and so on. And many of these guys are very experienced. It's good to know that you can reach out to a classmate or a lecturer that you've bonded with when you have issues in the area where they are experts in. Now, these are some of the takeaways from my MBA program. And it is said that for every good thing, there is a bad side. However, there aren't many bad sides to doing an MBA program if you have the money and the time. But if I can mention something quickly, although this isn't a con per se, but one experience I'll share is with my digital marketing course. I have some digital marketing experience myself, and our lecturer really knew our onion well. But I guess because of the limited time, it's nothing much compared to the on-the-job knowledge that I have doing those things myself. And I guess this might also be the case for other people with good experience in other subjects. Before I wrap up, some people might be wondering and asking, is doing an MBA worth it? I'll say that it depends. MBA is useful if you're on the job or you have your own business. Then you can at least put some of the concept that you're going to be learning to practice on your job or apply them to your own business. I see some people jump straight into doing an MBA after they've just completed their BSc program without a job or not managing a business. If that's the case, then I think it's not going to be all that helpful because, one, you will struggle to relate to many of the concepts because you lack experience. Two, it's not going to be as exciting for you because you will not be able to apply those things that you're being taught. And also, MBA is not cheap, so you're going to need to do some work and save some money for it. And lastly, I personally think that nothing beats being able to get your hands dirty doing the stuff in the real world, because there are many real world concepts that just can't be replicated in the classroom. So doing an MBA does not necessarily mean that you're going to become an authority in those subject areas. You're still going to need the practicals. You're still going to need mentorship from perhaps the lecturers or someone who is more experienced than you are. So I would say that doing an MBA all by itself might not be the best if you don't have some experience under your belt or a place for you to practice what you're going to be learning. So wrapping up, in general, I like that most of the executive MBA programs are designed to accommodate the busy schedule of the working class people. And for my school, Rome Business School, Nigeria, I like the local concept that was adopted by the school, where we were taught to think like global citizens and act local to the environment that we find ourselves. So I'd like you to share your take on whether doing an MBA course is worth it or not. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Alright, so that's all I have for you in this video. Be sure to like, comment and share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.